Good day, here are the top stories from the Philippine News Agency. The custody of embattled Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Quiboloy and his co-accused would remain under the police. The Philippine National Police says this is based on the order of the Pasig City Regional Trial Court, who ordered their arrest for qualified human trafficking. In a press briefing in Camp Crame, PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo says Quiboloy's co-accused have already posted bail in Davao City on sexual abuse charges, which were then transferred to the Quezon City Court. She adds the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group will coordinate with the Quezon City RTC, stressing that the Pasig Court's order would prevail as the qualified human trafficking charges are non-bailable. Based on the Quezon City Court's order, Quiboloy and Crescente Canada were supposed to be detained at the new Quezon City Jail on Payatas Road, while Jacqueline Roy, Ingrid Canada, and Sylvia Semanes would be transferred to the City Jail's female dormitory in Camp Caringal. The QCRTC also scheduled the arraignment and pre-trial via video conference of the 5 accused on Friday, September 13. Quiboloy and this group were earlier taken to the PNP Custodial Center, where dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Guo is detained. Meanwhile, the Justice Department will ask the Office of the Ombudsman to clarify whether the graft charges against former Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo were correctly filed before the Tarlac Regional Trial Court instead of the Sandiganbayan. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla said the lower courts have jurisdiction in cases involving low-ranking public officials, while the Sandiganbayan has original jurisdiction over ranking officials. Remulla said charges against employees earning at least salary grade 26 should be filed before the Sandiganbayan. On the other hand, a mayor is under salary grade 30. The PNP has taken custody of Guo after the Capas RTC Branch 109 ordered her arrest for graft charges. Members of the House of Representatives have expressed their approval for increasing the 2025 budget of the Presidential Communications Office. During Monday's budget hearing of the House Appropriations Committee, Vice Chair and Marikina 2nd District Representative Stella Kimbo highlighted the role of PCO as the main communications department of the government, through which the administration conveys its policies, programs, and messages to the Filipino people. She says the agency plays an important role in promoting media literacy, particularly in fighting against the dissemination of disinformation and fake news, and that the PCO is at the forefront of the fight against fake news. Pangasinan Representative Christopher De Venecia, Bulacan Representative Salvador Plato, and other lawmakers expressed their support for increasing the PCO's budget. Caloocan City Representative Mary Midzi Cahayon Uy also expressed her backing for the budget increase, emphasizing the need to enhance the PCO's efforts in combating misinformation and adapting to emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. PCO Secretary Cesar Chavez outlined the department's key priorities for next year, which include efficient coverage of presidential engagements, improved media dissemination, enhanced transparency and accountability, and greater promotion of government programs. He stressed that adequate funding is essential for these initiatives, particularly for documenting and covering the President's wide array of activities, such as state visits and official meetings. Chavez says the PCO's proposed budget for next year includes an allocation of 713.3 million pesos for the PCO proper, the largest share among its affiliated agencies, followed by the Philippine Broadcasting Service, Bureau of Broadcast Services, and Philippine Information Agency. Chavez, meanwhile, says the People's Television Network would get a subsidy of 212.527 million pesos for its modernization. Other agencies under the PCO umbrella will also receive funding, such as the Philippine Broadcasting Service, Bureau of Broadcast Services, Philippine Information Agency, Radio Television Malacanang, News and Information Bureau, Bureau of Communication Services, and the National Printing Office. Meanwhile, IBC 13 will not receive any financial assistance as it is set for privatization. Likewise, Apo Production Unit will not receive any government aid as it operates solely on its own, earning without financial support from the state. In other news, the House of Representatives has ratified the BYL Conference version of the proposed Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act. The measure aims to allow the Philippines to regulate maritime traffic, assert its sovereignty over archipelagic waters, enhance security, ensure the safe passage of foreign vessels, and uphold international maritime laws. This legislation, which is among the priorities of the Legislative Executive Development Council, was approved by the Senate last week. Pangasinan 3rd District Representative Maria Rachel Arenas emphasized the importance of the bill in reinforcing the 2016 Hague ruling that favored the Philippines in its dispute against China's 9-line claim in the South China Sea. She says the legislation is long overdue and is one of the most critical actions they have taken. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino says the bill aligns with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which allows the Philippines to designate sea lanes and air routes for foreign ships and aircraft. He adds that by defining these sea lanes, the country is asserting its right as an archipelagic state while meeting its obligations under international law. Under the bill, foreign ships and aircraft will be allowed to navigate through designated sea lanes while ensuring that their passage does not compromise the peace and security of the Philippines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has tasked the Department of Information and Communications Technology to prioritize remote and isolated areas as it rolls out its connectivity program. At the sectoral meeting on the National Digital Connectivity Plan 2024 to 2028 in Malacanang on Monday, the President suggested establishing connectivity in areas that need free Wi-Fi. He says the government will open a market for telecom companies by providing connections to local government units, barangay offices, and other government facilities. He says once the public gets used to having connectivity, the government can set aside allowance for Wi-Fi. The Presidential Communications Office said the NDCP will serve as the country's strategic blueprint to bring universal digital connectivity nationwide. Marcos recently approved the $288 million Philippine Digital Infrastructure Project, which seeks to complete the national fiber backbone and bring high-speed internet connection even in disadvantaged areas. The DICT has established over 13,000 free Wi-Fi sites in 1,401 cities and municipalities nationwide. Some 9.8 million Filipinos have also benefited from the DICT's free public internet program. In our business news, stakeholders of the Ninoy International Airport are all set for the airport's turnover to new management on September 14. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista expressed confidence that the new NAIA Infrastructure Corporation, the consortium led by San Miguel Corporation, will fulfill the parameters set to rehabilitate the airport. NNIC General Manager Angelito Alvarez said they seek to expand NAIA's capacity from the current 35 million passengers to 62 million annually. They will also increase the runway hourly rate capacity from 42 air traffic movements peak to 48 within the first 4 to 5 years. Other upgrades include a new terminal connecting to Terminal 2, a connection of Terminal 3 to Metro Manila Subway, upgraded baggage handling system, updated passenger processing systems, and world-class retail and dining experience. Tourism Undersecretary Verna Buensuceso said the modernization of NAIA will boost the country's tourism sector by increasing connectivity. Meanwhile, SMC Chair and Chief Executive Officer Ramon Ang said the rehabilitation period of NAIA is an exciting time when they can give Filipinos a world-class airport they deserve. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The Pna Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I'm Marita Muaje. This is the Pna Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.